Welcome back to the show, everybody. We have a great one for you this morning. We're going to take a look at Paxos, who gets a new bank charter. That's extremely exciting. And then we're going to take a look at another warning from many different people in different areas and industries, and one of which is a huge Bitcoin Maxi. And it's another warning about Bitcoin taking a huge hit here, possibly from government regulation. We'll get into that. We'll also look at the New York Stock Exchange at the same time as these warnings about Bitcoin are coming out. They're filing for a Bitcoin ETF. This could be huge or it could be a nothing burger. We don't know, but we're going to take a look at it for sure. The SEC files another motion to strike Ripple's defense case. Say it isn't so. Yeah, we got some great insight on that. And by the way, we got some really great insight on whether or not XRP is going for a new all-time high sooner rather than later. Let's just roll that beautiful intro and get into this. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here. We're 55,000 strong on Twitter with followers. Please follow us on there. There's a lot of news that we cover on Twitter that we don't get a chance to cover on the channel. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. And also, we're so very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on the channel here. Make sure if you haven't hit that like and subscribe on the channel, please do so. That is very exciting, and I thank each and every one of you for it. Now, looking here, we were just above at 1.8 plus trillion for the cryptocurrency market cap. We have fallen below that, now at 1.7 plus, and Bitcoin is sitting at 49,000 plus. Ouch. It's off by more than 20% on the 7-day. Ethereum holding its value pretty good considering the market where it is here, $2,192 plus, and they are off almost 10% on the 7-day. Coming down to the number 5 spot, XRP has slipped down because of the dereliction of duty by the SEC and intimidation tactics. We are coming in at $1.06 right now. We are off by 36.6% on the 7-day. Ouch. Yeah. You know, the whole market's off, right? So this is really bad all the way around. But let's take a look at the range, because in a second, we're going to take a look at a very, very good technical analyst in this space who has been spot on with many others that we cover on this channel, and see where they see the future of XRP going as it pertains to the charts. And I like that because I have to say they have collectively, Crypto Wizard, just to name a few, Dark Defender, Credible Crypto, Crypto Bull 2020 are just some of the ones that we've been following pretty closely here, and CoinsKid as well, who has really, really done a great job of breaking down what the charts are doing and what may possibly be to come. So we are going to take a real strong look at that in just a second. So let's go ahead and look at the range at $1.02 and 117 is the range we've been going between here of recent. We are currently at $1.05. Remember that $1.02 market will be important for the conversation shortly. Here we have some great news for Kava. Binance launches DeFi staking with cryptos Kava and DAI token, and that's from the stablecoin from the MakerDAO platform. So take a look at this. Binance's DeFi staking program was first announced Wednesday with DAI, the stablecoin generated by loans on MakerDAO. The Binance initiative aims to tap into this year's booming DeFi market by offering the ability for users to earn staking rewards akin to interest on select digital assets. On Thursday, Binance added Kava as the second asset to its staking product. Kava is a DeFi platform backed by Binance, Huobi, and OKX with a native token by the same name. This is very exciting. I have said many, many times that I think DeFi is going to be even bigger than crypto itself, and I really do believe that the opportunities are going to become pretty much endless. So it is very exciting to see that happen. So shout out to Kava and Binance for that coming together. So look at this right here. Michael Val 5link says, after a second week of trading, shares in Coinbase have closed at $293.45. That's a 32% decline from its opening day high of $429.54 on the first day of trading. Now, I think this goes hand in hand. The crypto market is bleeding, and so is Coinbase as it goes public. I don't know that this is long term. I actually don't believe it is. None of what I say is financial advice, but my personal opinion is that this is just a slump before we get some regulation, some more clarity, which has been the number one cloud hanging over the crypto space's head, whether it's a company that is IPO'd or whether it's the crypto space itself. So we're going to keep an eye on this, but I tell you what, one thing you can say is that blockchain is here to stay and crypto is here to stay. It's not going away. This will get straightened out at some point, and when it does, it is going to be an absolute game changer. And speaking of game changers, non-fungible tokens are exactly that. And as a musician who has been in the business for 30 years, I have to tell you, this is probably one of the most exciting moments and pieces of news that I've gotten to cover in a very, very long time. This is band royalty, and what they're doing here, I believe, will be the next level of inclusion and decentralization of the music industry, and it will be for the better of the artist and the fan. Make no mistake about it. Band royalty offers NFTs. And by the way, I'm not a sponsor of this, but I'm just a huge fan because I'm a musician, songwriter, and producer. And they've joined with ASCAP, BMI, and Sony, the Orchard record label. And basically, they've been able to license certain songs from these major artists like Beyonce, Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, Cher, will.i.am, Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Rihanna. I mean, just incredible artists. And the songs they've been able to get, basically, the NFTs work like this. You have 3,000 NFTs, and I think overall there might be 12,000 where it tops out. But for the short term, I think it's 3,000 tokens that you'll be able to get in the next 10 days. You can see the countdown right here. And if you have that token, then that will provide you a couple options. You could just hold the token, and obviously you will buy a vinyl album with this incredible artwork, which is almost, look, like 3D. Look as it turns. You see the depth in it. It's incredible, this artwork of some of these artists that are listed in this catalog. And what you'll do is you'll get that collectible. But this collectible actually has some utility that goes beyond here, because what it does is it gives you an option to hold the token and maybe sell it later for a higher price to somebody who would rather have the token. But the reason they would want it over you having it is because you can actually take this token once you have it, and you could put it in one of these 3 royalty pools. And you could put it in for printed music or the mechanical performance royalties like YouTube, streaming, things of that nature, or sync music, like if you're talking about cue music behind movie scenes or commercials, stuff like that. And you could choose to take your token and put it in one of these pools and participate in a revenue share of the royalties off of the music in this catalog. Now, to be clear, it does not give you ownership of the music. It does not give you ownership of the copyrights in any way or any of the artist images at all. But it does give you a token that allows you to participate in one of these 3 pools to get a revenue share of the royalties coming in from this licensing project. So band royalty, I believe, is going to be a massive game changer in the music industry, because now you could have Justin Timberlake and Beyonce and Rihanna. They could actually tell their fans, and Justin Timberlake, all these people, and Jane Zhang, and they could tell their fans, hey, you know what? If you buy a token here, you could share in the royalties that I earn also. Now, what better engagement with your fans and your audience than to tell them that they can actually earn money off of your own work with you? I don't know. All I can tell you is I am absolutely participating in this. And again, it is not a sponsor, but this to me is going to change the entire way music moves and the ownership and the revenue share of it forever. I can't see this going another way. So I hope you guys check that out. There is 10 days left and 17 hours and 37 minutes. Just make sure you know what's going on there. That is pretty remarkable to me. So now let's move right here, because Gemini users can now buy Bitcoin with Apple Pay and Google Pay. Now, see, I'd love seeing this kind of normalization, right? The integration of the conventional side of payments to bring in crypto to be able to do these things. But we're going to take a look at some information as it unfolds here, and we're going to get into a Bitcoin conversation in just a second that really has me scratching my head for quite a long time to where this thing ends up. Because you could see one side of the news that looks very positive for it, and then you could see another side of the news and it looks very ominous for it. So I think somewhere down the middle of that is where we end up landing. But let's take a look at this, because Charles Hoskinson is setting the tone here. And he said there's a lot of depressing crap coming down the pipe there that really upsets him and pisses him off. It's just an endless river that why do we pay taxes when we can print trillions of dollars? I don't know about you, but I have quickly become a huge fan of Charles Hoskinson. I can tell you, and I've had the chance to meet him at the convention out in LA in 2019, and he was absolutely wonderful to meet and just speak to briefly. I mean, it really was a pleasure. And the more I've gotten to know him through interviews and things, I'm a huge fan. I really like where his head is. Now, this is something we talked about, I believe, yesterday or the day before, but I wanted to remind people that, this could be one of the bigger catalysts for why the markets are off, because we're looking at the current administration eyeing capital gains to hike for 43.4% and possibly 52.2% for New York and 56.7% for California. Yeah, now who's excited to buy more crypto and get hit with capital gains? Yeah, see how that could happen? But this is why I tell you guys there is a safe place to go. That's what I tell you about I Trust Capital. That's why I use them, because there is no taxes there, right? I'd send my money in and I get the crypto I want, right? And then from there, I don't have to worry about these things, whether I live in New York, California, or some other damn place. And that, to me, is the way to go if you're concerned about capital gains. Now, make sure you contact I Trust Capital. They are the best at crypto, gold, silver IRAs, bar none, no doubt about it. All right, now let's get on to this. In case you missed it, this is from Bond Crypt, and shout out to Michael Val 5 links. SEC files motion to strike Ripple's key defense. The SEC argues that Ripple failed to seek a no-action letter before the agency started investigating the company in 2018. Ripple has to reply to the motion by May 13th. Well, like I said yesterday, this just gets uglier. But I'll tell you something. John Deaton, God bless him, I don't think anybody can lay it down any clearer than him or Jeremy Hogan at times. When they drop something, they drop it. He says here in this tweet, so Hinman and Clayton, formerly of the SEC, can tell the world that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, but a private company like Coinbase approaches the SEC and it informs the SEC that it believes XRP like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities and intend to list it, and the SEC can't say anything about it? Yeah. And then XRJP down here says, that's why it makes sense. They want us out. What other reason is XRP being drugged through the mud for and made an example of? And E says it really nicely here too, very simply. Stinks to high heaven. That's right. That's exactly right. The whole thing stinks to high heaven. There is no question about it. Michael Val 5 links, shout out to you, my friend. Paxos becomes the third federally chartered crypto bank. Hallelujah. The OCC granted Paxos a preliminary conditional trust to form the crypto industry's third federally chartered bank and custodian firm. So This is exciting to me because I'll tell you something. Paxos was not a bank, and now they are, right? And so the reality here is, or being regulated as such, I should say, probably more accurately. But the reality here is that this, to me, puts that competitive pressure on traditional banks who have been giving the blessing by the OCC. And because they've been given that blessing, I think this competitive pressure should lean in for the traditional banks to want to begin to offer these things in some way to their clients, so they don't see a huge watershed moment at some point for their customers going outside of their services at the traditional banks to seek crypto from somewhere else. And the moment that we see cryptos in the traditional banking offerings, I can tell you, I think there is a big day for all of us. I think that's a big day for all of us. And right here, this gets interesting. Now let's get into this, because this really brings me to what I talked about earlier opening the show here. You know, one side says no, one side says yes, one side says bad, one side says good, right? Well, here the New York Stock Exchange has filed a 19B-4 form on behalf of the investment firm for its Bitcoin exchange traded fund, ETF, late on Friday. This form will kick off a 45-day review period when the SEC acknowledges the filing. We shall see, but take a look at this. This is a reminder, really quick 1-minute reminder from Christine Lagarde of what the central banking system thinks of Bitcoin. Okay, listen.
It's a speculative asset by any account. I mean, when you look at the most recent developments upward and now the most recent downward trend, it's for those who had assumed that it might turn into a currency. Terribly sorry, but this is an asset, and it's a highly speculative asset, which has conducted some funny business and some interesting and totally reprehensible money laundering activity. I think that there are criminal investigations that have taken place that I'm sure will continue to take place that demonstrate it very clearly. And there has to be regulations, and this has to be applied. And agreed upon. It's a matter that needs to be agreed at a global level, because if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So I think it needs to be if anything, it shows that global cooperation, multilateral action is absolutely needed. Whether it's initiated by the G7, moved into the G20, and then enlarged, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And FATF is clearly an organization that has expanded in that respect.
Well, there you have it, right? So, and we're not done yet, because we even have a Bitcoin Maxi here who not long ago had said that, he sees Bitcoin potential really endless in price where it could go. But at the same time, Kraken CEO Jesse Powell, who is a huge Bitcoin maximalist, warns about cryptocurrency crackdown. Well, you just heard Christine Lagarde talk about a global agreement at the G7 level. So there's no backdoor arbitrage for Bitcoin. Whatever they decide to do, it needs to be globally agreed upon, so it will be globally enforced. Then she talked and leaned in about the Financial Action Task Force, for which we have talked about a lot. And she's telling you that there's the recommendation where it's going to come from, more than likely. And then we will see the globe follow in step with whatever that ends up being. Now, with that being said, the Bitcoin Maxi and CEO of Kraken says here governments around the world may begin to limit use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. CEOs of top crypto exchange warns. He says here still Kraken's chief believes that cryptographic regulatory uncertainty will not soon disappear. Recently, money laundering prevention rules proposed by the U.S. government would require people with cryptography in their private digital wallets to be identified if they make transactions of $3,000 or more. Something like that could really hurt cryptography and kill the original use case. It was to make financial services available to everyone, Powell said. Now, listen, that's not the only one. Let's go ahead here, too, because remember, I just covered yesterday that the G7, and shout out to Rod Hopp for that information, I just covered the G7 is meeting in June. And then we have here, this is Bitcoin will eventually go to zero, says tech veteran Jeff Schumacher. And here, if you go into this, he is actually 23 blockchain-based investment firm on January 23rd, the blockchain-based investment firm BCG Digital Ventures founder Jeff Schumacher explained that while Bitcoin has far captivated the interest of public as a nascent technology, he remains skeptical when it comes to digital assets value as a currency, explaining that I do believe it will go to zero. I think it's a great technology, but I don't believe it's a currency. It's not based on anything. In yet another recent interview with CNBC panel, North Island Chairman Glenn Hutchins also shared a similar perspective from Silver Lake, the former president of the New York Federal Reserve, president of AT&T, right? Big investor in Digital Currency Group. This guy is telling you a similar perspective that he shared, claiming that as an investor, his focus leans more towards blockchain technology. He elaborated, I am much less interested in investing around Bitcoin as a currency unit or a currency equivalent, or even the blockchain as an accounting ledger. I'm thinking much more about the protocols. In other words, what is the underlying protocol going to do as a consequence of which tokens are valuable or not. And that really comes down to his mantra and what it's always been, which is the value is in the protocol. And speaking of the protocol, let's take a look at the XRP token that is on top of the XRP Ledger protocol, which is in fact a decentralized exchange for the world. And it settles in a matter of a few seconds, and it can handle massive scaling. And it has the security that has proven out for 8 or 9 years now. And I'm done selling it to you. So let's just take a look at the article. Closely followed trader and analyst Credible Crypto says that Ripple's native asset XRP is setting up for a massive surge to a new all-time high. And let's go into this article because Credible Crypto has been one of those analysts that really has just been killing it. A Crypto Wizard, Dark Defender, Crypto Bull 2020, Coins Kid on YouTube. I'm telling you, these people have been in alignment, and it's been impressive to see them nailing these moments, these price target moments, and it's brought me a great bit of comfort, and that's why I've shared it with all of you, because I hope that it does that for you as well. So closely followed trader and analyst Credible Crypto says that Ripple's native asset XRP is setting up for a massive surge to a new all-time high. In a new tweet, the crypto trader says that XRP's current downward correction is approaching a crucial 0.618 Fibonacci retracement support, which we have seen supported by other analysts as well, by the way, a level that many traders keep a close eye on for a possible bounce. According to the crypto strategist, 107 is a prime area. We are currently at 105. If you remember before we started this video today, 107 is a prime area to catch a ride to the stratosphere on XRP for traders more confident in XRP, less concerned about the perfect entry point. 112, 120 range is also a viable place for bullish bid. He says the last impulse is complete and took us from 50 cents to almost $2. And he says the next impulse should be even stronger. The correction is approaching the 0.618, as we mentioned. The higher time frame support downside is limited, and the next impulse up probably takes us to a new all-time high. Do the math. XRP is a bargain here, he says. Now, this part I wanted to read to you as well, and this is where we go. The trader says that ideally XRP can form support at this level for a week or two before making its way upward. So all those impatient people out here, he is telling you that this support could sit here in this range for a week or two before it makes its way upward. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Other than he says that we want this strong base to form rather than a quick pump out of the correction, because it will allow the next impulse to be much stronger. Now, this falls in line with the 5 Elliott wave that lined up with the Fibonacci retracements that we saw from Coins Kid as well. Aside from XRP, Credible Crypto has got his eye on the world's largest crypto by market cap as a signal for the rest of the market at large. The analyst says Bitcoin could be on its way down to 39,000, where it can be there to reaccumulate before its next leg up to a new all-time high as well. If we want to go to 100,000, these periods of reaccumulation are necessary and healthy. So really, really great insight from Credible Crypto there. Remember, none of this is financial advice from him or me. You know, these are just these people's insights and my own, and I love sharing them with you. That is going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Head on a swivel. You never know. This is crypto. Hit the like and subscribe. Almost to 100,000 subscribers. This is really incredible, guys. I'm so excited, and we're doing this together. By the way, I can't do it without you, that's for sure. And make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comments section. There's really great products and services, and they are trusted, vetted links. I'll catch you on the next one.